So this is the prayer that Mary sings in the midst of this moment of the visitation. So we have the Annunciation when Mary conceives the power of the Holy Spirit, the infant inside of her. And then she brings Jesus to Elizabeth, to John the Baptist. There's those powerful moments of the Holy Spirit in which the sound of Mary's greeting, the infant leaps in Elizabeth's womb. Elizabeth says some of those parts of the Hail Mary. And then this is where Mary starts to cry out this beautiful Spirit-filled prayer. And it's echoed, or the echo of it, is actually found in the first book of Samuel. The name Hannah means grace. And so this one who is graced, Mary is full of grace. She's also desiring a child. And she has not been able to conceive a child. And so the Lord grants this beautiful gift. And then she offers this boy, Samuel, to service in the temple. He becomes the prophet Samuel. And then the responsorial psalm today is her cry of praise to God. And it says, "My heart exalts in the Lord. My horn is exalted in my God. He raises the needy from the dust, from the dung heap. He lifts up the poor. The Lord makes the poor. The Lord makes poor and makes rich. He humbles, he also exalts. He casts down to the netherworld, he raises up again." So a lot of this is very much in that same kind of prayer that Mary gives. Mary, though, gives us this perfect image of what it means to magnify the Lord. Proclaiming the greatness of the Lord is another way of saying it. You can think of magnify. In Greek, it's megalune, and it sounds a lot like luna. So it's like the moon making bright. If you think about even the moonlit nights that we've been having, we're able to see in darkness, not because of the light of the moon per se, but the light of the sun that is going upon the moon, but the moon doesn't suck it up. Instead, the moon shines it out. And that's the beautiful gift of Mary. Mary doesn't keep any of that, in a sense, praise for herself. She always says, "The Almighty has done great things for me," but he's the one doing it. Holy is his name. And this whole prayer is about what God has done and is doing within her life. And it's filling her with such joy that then she shares that good news out. And so she magnifies the Lord. She shines forth the light to make it brighter because she is also being magnified by God. God is pouring out his grace and allowing her to shine. And now she's pouring out that same light to make the world shine. And it's this beautiful way in which we can learn from her example how to be, as Pope Francis would say, a Spirit-filled evangelizer. Mary is filled with the Holy Spirit. She's filled with this superabundant life of God. So much so that God is actually living within her womb. But then she goes and shares that love, that superabundant life. And that's how we're supposed to proclaim the gospel. To be a disciple, sitting at the feet of the Lord, receiving the superabundant life of God, especially through the grace of the sacraments. But then as we receive, then we're supposed to be sent out and we're supposed to share that superabundant life with others. We are called to be filled with God's life in order to magnify the Lord. And we see this in a particular way during the Easter Vigil, where you have the candles. You have the one light of Christ from whom all the other candles receive their light. So every single little candle is ultimately the same flame of Christ. It's not something that we come up with our own. We don't snap it on. And yet how bright it gets when each one of us say yes to that candle and allow our little light to shine. The whole church becomes illuminated, whereas before it was in darkness. That's what it means to magnify the Lord, to become little moons, little stars, receiving the love of God like Mary did, but then sharing that superabundant life in our words and in our deeds, to proclaim the good news.